Hello friends, it's Nikki and welcome back to my messy bookshelf. Today I'm here to share my weekly reading wrap up for the week ending on May 16th. And I did make progress in some things. I finished a couple things, but as far as full-length novels, it was a little bit of a slower week. Just I had my pets, all four of them had vet appointments. We had some end of the school year school events to go to at my daughter's school, and normally I bring books with me, and I did bring books with me to those places, but nothing turned out the way that it was supposed to. So I didn't read as much as I normally do at appointments and things like that. So enough with the excuses. I will move on to what I actually finished. And I am actually really proud of myself this month so far for sticking so closely to my pile of possibilities for the month. If you um, didn't see my pile of possibilities video, I did have a bunch of creepy, spooky books and short stories because I am participating in Horror Mayhem. So I will start off with the one book I do not own a copy of, and that is because I am listening to it as an audiobook, and that is for Audiomiles. And since I did get quite a few subscribers this week that might not know what Audiomiles is, I will share a brief description of what that is. So, Audiomiles started as an event that I co hosted with my friend Jessica from On a Stack of Books. We've turned it into an audio book club. And the whole idea basically is you listen to an audiobook and you are only allowed to listen to that audiobook while you're doing some sort of physical activity, biking, walking, gardening, something physical, elliptical, whatever you choose to deem as your physical activity, you are only allowed to listen to that book while doing that. But for the month of May, we did have a group read going, and I was late starting that book. So I did start that book, and the group read for May was suggested by Jessica for Asian American Pacific Islander Month, which is a thing here in the US in May. And we voted, and the one that was chosen was Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. And I started it, and I'm loving it so far. So, reading this book, listening to this book, I walked a total of 6.03 miles this week, made it 14% in, and I am on chapter 4. So, a bit behind the others, but I think this coming week I will get in a bunch of walks and hopefully catch up. But we will see. I am really enjoying it. It sounded a little bit familiar when I started it, and then I looked on Goodreads and saw that I had read it like 15 years ago, and I just don't remember the book, but it was familiar. So, reading it now for the group read. Moving on, the next book that I actually finished was The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. This is one that was in my pile of possibilities for May. I am participating in Horror Mayhem, if I didn't say that already, and I had been looking forward to this one because it is a spooky short novel by Henry James about a governess who goes to an estate to care for two orphan children. And while she's there, she discovers that there is some sort of ominous presence that seems to be after the children. And I expected it to be a little more spooky than it was, though there were some spooky moments. Until I got to chapter 10, I thought he was being a bit wordy, a bit overly wordy for my taste. Once I got to chapter 10, it was smooth sailing, and I ended up really enjoying this. And towards the end, even though I didn't think the whole thing was nearly as scary as I thought it would be, or spooky, more psychological, honestly, the ending was a very good ending for something that I was expecting to be spooky, and just, it shocked me a little bit. And again, I didn't do bullet points this time. I am just talking. So I just realized I forgot to tell you what Memoirs of a Geisha is about. So sorry about that. Memoirs of a Geisha, which is my Audiomiles audiobook, is a book about a young Japanese girl who, because of some unfortunate circumstances, grows up in a fishing village and is then taken to a geisha house to sort of learn the trade. And where I am right now, she has just arrived and has just started her training as an apprentice geisha. So sorry about that. We're out of order here, and this is why I need to do bullet points for every video. I'm so sorry. Moving on, I did finish a short story by Charles Dickens, one I have read before, but this is one that came out of the Penguin Book of Ghost Stories, and I read The Signalman by Charles Dickens, a short story that I loved the first time, and I loved it this time. Very spooky, and this one is about a man who meets a train signalman sort of in the middle of nowhere. And the signalman is sort of disturbed because he keeps seeing apparitions of something trying to warn him, and we don't know why. So I won't go any further than that because it is an incredibly delightful, spooky story, and I loved it just as much this time as the first time. And so sorry if you can hear the background noise. I hope not with the microphone, but I am not sure. The next short story that I finished was The Doll by Daphne du Maurier from this collection, After Midnight. That one was really spooky and creepy. That one was creepy. So that one is about a diary or something like that. Diary or a series of diary entries washes up on shore, and some of the entries are destroyed and you can't really tell. And it's a man who is obsessed. It's a story about obsession and a man slowly losing his mind, and he falls in love with this very enigmatic woman. And I won't share how the doll from the title comes into play, and it's not what you think. It is not what you think. So definitely recommend that one. I have now read 3 short stories from this collection for Horror Mayhem. So very, very pleased with the ones that I have read so far. And I will continue trying to read at least a couple short stories every week. I think I want to make it a point to read one every day or 2. They're very short. I don't know why I hadn't been doing that. Moving on, I did make progress in The Stand by Stephen King. I will share more of my thoughts in my little series that I am doing on my thoughts on The Stand, because I need to share spoilers in order to say. But I did make it another 140 pages into this, and I definitely got to a part where I didn't want to put it down. So it's getting good. It's getting good. Also unsettling, but it's getting good. And we'll continue with this. I think I will focus more attention on this in the coming week, because while I am taking my time with this, and I said I would take my time, I have been. It's been a few weeks, and I don't always take that long to read these types of chunkers, but I have some very fun plans for the summer, and starting in June, I have a couple of buddy reads, and one of them is quite a chunker, and it is from my 50 before 50 list, so I'm very excited. And I would like to at least be towards the end of this book before I embark on that one. So, yes, I am actually really excited about, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I have 3 buddy reads. 2 of the books are with the same person, but I have a couple of buddy reads coming up in June and over the summer. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I am now officially over halfway and The Stand, and it's taken me a while to get there, but that's because I put it down when I need to, because it gets disturbing. And I am a fan of spooky and creepy and a little bit scary, so I like, diet horror, not straight up horror. I don't like gruesome things, but there is a lot of gruesome in this book. Moving on to what my plans are coming up. I already mentioned about The Stand. I have a couple other short story collections that I have not read anything from yet. So I will read Dracula's Guest by Bram Stoker. That is one I definitely plan to get to, but there are, I think, 3 other stories in here, and I don't know if I will get to those, but definitely Dracula's Guest. I love Dracula. So that one, and then I have not read any of the ghost stories in this collection called Ghosts by Edith Wharton. And I've loved ghost stories of hers that I've read before. I'm sure some of them are in here. So I will at least read another ghost story from this collection, because I haven't read any from this particular book yet. Moving on, I need some plans for a novel for the rest of the month that is not The Stand. So I have a few options here. 2 of them are from my pile of possibilities. One I started reading accidentally last week, and one is a prospective buddy read. So I am unsure what I am going to be on to next. The first is The Song of Achilles that my friend Jessica is about to read. So I am toying with the idea of starting this as a buddy read with her. I think I can get through this before the end of the month if I start it with her. I honestly would like to try and find a copy of this on Libby for the audio. But there's like a 10-week hold. So if I can find another free copy of the audiobook, because I do not like paying for audiobooks when I own the book already. So we'll see. I mean, I could read it, but I do want to read short stories and The Stand. So please help me decide what to move on to next. The next one is one I may save for spooky season in the fall, and this is House of Splinters. I really wanted to get to this one. This is a prequel to The Silent Companions, which I loved and was one of the scariest books for me that I have read in the last couple of years. And it's about an estate, a manor house, and this book I think is set in the 16th century, and people move into the house. There are these figures, carved figures. I wouldn't call them dolls, but there are figures in the house, and there are some things going on in the house. I don't want to say too much, but that one was incredibly spooky. And again, my bullet points. I didn't say anything about Song of Achilles. This is about Achilles and Patroclus, from the story of Troy, the Iliad. So this is about, what is his name? Patroclus and Achilles and their friendship slash more than friendship, and has been on my radar for literal years. I loved Circe by the same author. Still haven't read it. So got these 2 as possibilities. And then I have one that I have been itching to read, not horror, The Warden by Anthony Trollope, and this is the first in the Barsetshire Chronicles of Barsetshire. And I have heard so many good things about Anthony Trollope, and I have been dying to read him. Yeah, we'll see. I think I need something different than horror as my novel. So sort of leaning towards this one and this one. And then the last one I have here, I'll stop rambling, is the one I started reading accidentally because I had just picked up a copy, and then I was stuck in the school pickup line for 25 minutes. So I started reading. I normally bring a book with me to the school pickup line, but I didn't, and I had new books. So this is about a woman. Well, this is about a family who lives on a very, very remote island. Is it the Weddell Sea? Close to South America and Antarctica. So the closest thing to them, I think, is over 1,000 miles away. And they're a family, a father and his children on this remote island. And then suddenly a woman washes up on shore. I'm obsessed with all things exploration, deserted islands, survival, Antarctica, like a lot obsessed. So I started reading this, made it a few chapters in, and I wanted to continue, but this was not on my plans for May. So please help me decide. I mean, I might just end up reading something anyway, but again, The Warden, House of Splinters, The Song of Achilles, and Wild Dark Shore for my novel choices for the rest of the month. So please help me decide. Very different choices, aren't they? But yeah, I have rambled long enough. I am so sorry, and I thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Please let me know if you have read any of these or are interested. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.